Salutations, everybody, and welcome to our Wrestle Kingdom prediction show. Yeah, you know, it's that wonderful time of year when you hear that fantastical music as we are prepared for Wrestle Kingdom 17. It's Tokyo! Oh my God, I'm so jazzed for this card. Well, I'm Xlj the Og, joined by my brother from another mother, Mr. B-Rope. And we got our resident New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, the CDC, is in the house. Boys, how you doing today?
Super freaking duper.
Yes.
Doing fine and dandy, and you know we had to pull out the big guns for this one.
That's right. First of all, how excited are you all for Wrestle Kingdom 17? Because to me, this actually feels like a Wrestle Kingdom. And that's not knocking the past couple years, but going back to the one-night format, this is the one time where I actually prefer it instead of like a WrestleMania and something. I think with WrestleMania, it helps they do 2 nights, but with Wrestle Kingdom, I really enjoy the one-night format more.
Yeah, the 2-night made sense the first time that they did it. The second time felt kind of like a stretch. But yeah, I feel like I kind of, if you look at the card, it kind of makes sense why it's only one night, because New Japan's struggling with new stars. I mean, you look at this lineup of stuff, and there's a whole lot of people that are not just strictly New Japan wrestlers. So I think we're going to see some surprise things happen at this one.
With that also being said, too, like this card is going to be historic, not only for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but in wrestling history, period. This is the first time that we have ever seen on a major card that you're going to see a WWE and an AEW contracted wrestlers wrestle on the same card. I mean, that's freaking historic. And that just goes to show you like the power that New Japan Pro Wrestling has to work with like all these different companies out there.
And that's not even to consider the Rambo coming up. You got SEMA coming in also. So there's another independent promotion that he works within with Glee.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some CMLL guys on this card too.
Possibly. Obviously, you also have the now I'm drawing a blank on the Stardom wrestlers also. Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, there's a lot on this one. Like other promotions all kind of mingling in here.
Yeah. This is going to be a historic night, and we cannot wait. Well, gentlemen, let's just get right into it. Let's run down this card here. And we've got 12 total matches on the night. And to kick us off, we've got our pre-show matches, which will consist of 3 matchups. Opening it up is a very special exhibition match with Riho Hawaii against Boltin Ole. And this is actually just going to be a 3-minute exhibition matchup. So it should be a pretty short one, obviously, but it should be a fun one nonetheless. I'm sure these guys are just going to beat the living hell out of each other pretty much for 3 minutes. So nice way to get the crowds, get the jazz going there in the Tokyo Dome. I'll be honest, CDC, I kind of got to go to you on this one. I don't know a whole lot about either of these guys.
Yeah, I agree.
There's not a whole lot to know yet. Young Lions, I think this is Roy Hayes. I know I'm butchering his name now. I think it's his second year as a young lion with New Japan. Well, second year wrestling in the ring as a young lion. And this is Boltin Ole. I think he's German, if I remember correctly. This is his first year going so far in the ring. So, I mean, originally when I picked this, I picked Rohei Iwa to win. But that's before I realized it was a 3-minute match. So I think this is just going to go to a draw, honestly. I
think you're right. I think that probably will be the case. Or I could see, I guess if I've got to pick one, I'm going to go with Boltin Ole, even though I don't know anything about him. But I don't know. I just got a hunch. Yeah, but you're probably right.
I mean, you got a 50-50 shot here. So
right.
But yeah, I think hitting the nail on the head though. What you said, like 3 minutes and then just probably beating the crap out of each other and like trying to hit their move.
As many knife edge chops and slaps to the face as possible, and I'm all for it. But I mean, like I say, this should be kind of a fun little one to kick off. And I mean, you got to look at it. It gives some shine to the young Lions, especially in the Tokyo Dome. And while the crowd's kind of getting in and getting situated, so it should be a nice little way to kick off the festivities. Now, following,
CDC was gonna chime in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't even think if I've even seen Bolton wrestle yet. Honestly, I don't always watch all the first couple opening matches with the Young Lions a lot of times, unless I'm really interested to see what happens. And I almost feel like maybe I haven't seen him just because if you kind of look at the graphic, Roy Iwa clearly has a wrestling graphic. Bolton has Bolton in a t-shirt. So I don't know that this is his.
Maybe this is his debut. Yeah.
I doubt it that it's going to be on Wrestle Kingdom, but I mean, if it is,
what a way to debut.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. And I'm sorry I cut you off there, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, brother. So let's go on.
I've cut both of you off now. I mean,
well, you're good you're good, bro. All right, let's move on here. Let's go to your second match of the evening, the KOPW Rambo. And this one's going to be a wild one, as always, because we have no idea who the hell is going to be in it. Probably going to see some surprises in this one. And I believe the winners, or I think it gets down to the final four on this, and they will meet the next night at the New Year's Dash to determine the KOBW champion starting the year. And to me, I mean, the way I look at this is like a Toro Yano is going to be in the finals. Like you could almost, in my opinion, you can almost guarantee that'll be. Probably see I would say Chase Owens probably in the mix here as well. But I think definitely some surprises too. What about you guys?
Just how they kind of started to. When KOPW first kind of got introduced, it seemed like it was going to be a legit thing. Then the pandemic happened. So they kind of shifted the focus, and it kind of became almost a comedy title thing with Yano running rampant with it for the next 2 years. Then you finally had that thing get away from Yano, and all of a sudden you have, Tai Chi and Shingo, and ELP having legit matches for it, and the funny haha went out the door with it with Yano. So I could see Yano not even being a factor in this, and they start to treat this more like a serious title for special stipulation matches.
I'm all for that. If they could do that, that'd be great. You're right. I forgot about that Shingo and El Phantasmo matchup was crazy.
The daddy match, man.
Yeah. Who could forget? But I hope it does go in a serious direction. So who would you not knowing who's going to be in it? Who do you think is going to pull it off?
I think just because they're nowhere else in the card, and like I said, they already started leaning more towards that. I could see Shingo, ELP, Tai Chi, all being ones that are in the back end. Going back to something I said earlier, I know I said SEMA, but I was forgetting that was last year. It's not this year. This year, it's all surprise entrants, so we don't even know who else could be there. We could even see El Linderman actually show up, or maybe Alex Zane. They do something more with him also, because clearly they like him. They keep bringing him back.
Yeah, and you make a good point too with especially Shingo, because in my mind I was thinking man, why is he not on this card? Because I thought he was going to be a part of the Los Ingobernables team, but now that you say this, that makes perfect sense. Shingo's got to be in the finals of it, because it's just kind of crazy to me. And I love Shingo, of course. I just wish he was kind of booked a little bit higher on the card, but to go from main event in Wrestle Kingdom to being on the pre-show, it's But I mean, hey, it is what it is.
And here's another wild possibility. Maybe we see Kota Ibushi come back.
Oh, see, I was going to save that for later. I do think that will happen, though.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what surprises would be? So I'm not even going to attempt to guess. Yeah,
fair enough. And then we got one more match here on the pre-show. This is going to be a 6-man, but it is the Antonio Inoki Memorial match, and you've got 6 legends here going at it. You got Yuji Nagata teaming up with Satoshi Kojima and Togi Makabe, going up against the, I think, 80-year-old plus Tatsumi Fujinami. Just kidding. Minoru Suzuki, Murder Grandpa, and Tiger Mask. I'm kind of looking forward to this matchup. I always, even though Fujinami can't get around as much, I still love kind of seeing him at least get in there and do a couple, like, some headlocks and a headlock takeover, stuff like that. And it's always a pleasure to see Minoru Suzuki as well. So, and hopefully we get some time in the ring with him and Togi Makabe, because I still love and see those guys beating the piss out of each other, as well as with Nagata too. So, I feel like I got to go with the Fujinami's team on this one.
Yeah, I went the opposite direction because I see that lineup and that makes no sense to me. That just seems like miscommunication abound. Whereas, you throw over Blue Justices and, Bread Club over here. Like, I think those are your winners in this one. This is interesting. Doing the pick'em online on Twitter for New Japan. This was the only other one that gave draw as an option. So I don't know. They may just make this one a draw, but
yeah, it could be like a quick 10-minute time limit match or something. I could see that.
Or I could even see it being something so ridiculous that they're both all out of the ring for too long that they end up doing the 20 count. Everyone's counted out.
That's that could be the case.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see that. I definitely, with this, being the memorial match, though, I do think it will be, it's going to be special. If I was to pick a team, I'm never going to bet against Suzuki ever. I've seen that man do too many things to too many people. So I would probably lean towards that way, but.
You can't go against Murder Grandpa.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like you. I don't see it. I feel like it's got to have like some sort of a clean finish with it being dedicated to Inoki, but I wouldn't be shocked either way. So once again, I think this will be a fun little match to get the crowd going. But then, gentlemen, after this, it is on to our main card. And we are talking about your first battle of the night on Wrestle Kingdom 17 on the main card, and it is for the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship. You got your champions, Catch 22, going up against Leo Rush and Yo, or Leo. So, and I always thought it was 2-2. I like saying 22. I don't know. Anyways. But yeah, you got TJP and Francisco Akira. This should be a fun one. It's always fun when you've got like the junior tag titles kicking off, and I mean all four of these guys can freaking go too.
Yeah, this is one that like TJP I like as a wrestler. Francisco, he's not done anything for me. Leo Rush, I like as a wrestler. Yo does nothing for me. Well, let me rephrase that. Yo's done nothing for me since his split with Show. Yeah. I've just not found any interest in him whatsoever. Their tagging up here has actually been kind of fun. They've been trying to pull some like crazy stuff off, but I don't see them beating Catch 2-2 in this one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. I think Catch, I'm still going to call him 22 because it sounds better. But yeah, I'm going to go with TJP and Francisco.
Well, I disagree. I'm going for the upset.
Oh, well, it could happen. You never know. Like, they love to book the baby faces, like, strong, so. And hell, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't think, is Leo Rush part of Chaos? He's not, is he?
I don't think he's in an official capacity. I think he's just
a friend. Of a friend. Yeah. Because that seems to be every Wrestle Kingdom Chaos. If anybody from Chaos is in a match, they're going to win. Even though like Chaos is not nearly the faction it was years ago. But anyways,
they might as well just ban that one also at this point.
Yeah, I think I would have rather preferred them to do that than Suzuki Goon. But hey, that's another story for another time. But yeah, nonetheless, this should be a good opening matchup. But let's how excited are you for this next matchup that is going to be making history, as we are going to get the very first IWGP Women's Championship match on a Wrestle Kingdom card, and your champion Kari will go up against Tam Nakanoa, which I'm not going to say banger because I hate that term. Sorry, but this should be a good one. I'm looking forward to this one. I love like watching the Stardom stuff. I mean, we've been watching Kari for a while. We know that she can go. Tam is an incredible talent from what I've seen of her so far. Let's freaking go on this one. Like, how pumped are you guys for this?
I'm excited to see it. Mainly because I just don't watch Stardom. It's just yet another subscription thing I just can't afford with all the other ones I've got going on. But I mean, I remember Kyrie from her time in WWE/NXT, and I've definitely heard Light Skin Gaijin talk about Tam Nakano enough times to think that she must be pretty good. So I'm excited to see it because I remember enjoying Kyrie matches all the time when she was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be good, and I mean, what better way than how you started it? It's making history, and then I think we have to talk about the elephant in the room, though.
Yeah. That would be, it may indeed be some boss time afterwards. Or no, we can't say that anymore. We don't own the rights to that. But yes, the rumors are that the former Sasha Banks, Mercedes, what's she going by now? Mercedes
Morano or something like that.
Mercedes Morano is in fact going to make an appearance at the Tokyo Dome. And obviously, it would probably be for this matchup, you would think. I heard somebody, I can't remember who I heard say this on Wrestle Talk, but it was a very interesting concept, was what if Mercedes joins the Bullet Club?
Yeah, somebody said that.
I thought, oh, that would be kind of interesting. I'm not sure how they pull it off, but it'd be interesting.
Nah, put her in House of Torture.
House of Torture, yeah. Hey, I like what your suggestion was with that you suggested that Suzuki just comes over and takes it over and like makes it like an actual badass faction. I'm for it. Let's do it. Give something for Murder Grandpa to do other than drink whiskey and beat the shit out of young boys. But anyways,
we need to pick winners.
Yeah, I'm going with Kari on this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way. But I'm going with Kari.
Champion.
Yeah, I was in the same boat.
Champion retains. That's what I'm going with here.
Yeah, and I do think you say Mercedes come out at the end of this too, and boy, that's going to be a pop. So, yeah, it should be a good one though. And right after that, we go into your third battle of the evening, the IWGP Tag Team Championship, with your tag league winners Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto challenging FTR for the IWGP Tag Team Championship. And I just feel like this is like, all right, the FTR, man, as amazing as a year they had, this past month, it just sucked for them. I mean, they lost to, it started with losing to the Acclaimed on Dynamite. Then they lost the ROH titles to the Briscoes. They just recently lost the AAA tag titles, and I think this is going to be the conclusion of it. They're dropping it to Goto and Yoshihashi.
Absolutely. Yeah, as soon as this one came on, I was like, well, there's your winners, Bishamon.
Yeah, and I don't want to say this is like I think this will be a good matchup, but I hate to use the term piss break match, but I mean, I don't know. I don't feel as invested in this one. I think I would have rather seen like Aussie Open if they would have won the tag league against the FTR. Holy shit, that would have been a completely different story for me.
Yeah, that would have been a more palatable tag match for him. Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto are great wrestlers.
They are. And
they have both been boring to me for 7 years now. Just absolutely boring. I just have had no interest in them for too long now. Like they're too stagnant. They're the same character after all this time, and they're not bad wrestlers. It's just there's nothing about them that makes me want to watch them at this point. And that's not changed with new ring gear, new music.
No, it's just Now, I will say this: we got the pleasure of getting to see them in Chicago at Forbidden Door, and watching them live in person as a tag team was awesome. That was a great matchup. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be like about a 10 to 12 minute matchup, if that, and Goto and Hashi win it.
Yeah, I would love to pick my boys FTR, but I just
I forget what you would have to look back at the record at Tokyo Dome, but it seems like every single tag team that wins the tag league always wins the tag titles at Wrestle Kingdom.
It's pretty consistent. Like, it's not very often that I can't even think of who hasn't won it after winning that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would, like you said though, I would have loved to seen them go against Aussie Open again. That match at Royal Quest was incredible, but
I think really it's just a thing of time. They just don't have enough to give them enough proper time on this card that's already loaded. So
yeah, in the end, I guess fuck the Revival.
Fuck the Revival. And on that note, let's go to our next matchup here, and we're talking about the finals of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Television Title Tournament, where we got Rin Narita going up against Zack Sabre Jr. This was a pretty awesome tournament they put together too. And it's great to see them introducing another title, which God, now I've lost track how many damn titles New Japan Pro Wrestling has, but hey, it is what it is. So I've always loved the TV title in any wrestling promotion because I look at that as like the workhorse title. And I don't think it gets more workhorse than Zack Sabre Jr., so that's obviously my pick.
Yeah. I wonder who CDC is picking.
Well, the CDC is picking Zack Sabre Jr. However, I won't be shocked to see Ren Narita get this. And the main reason I'm thinking it could go either way on this, but I'm still hoping for Zack. This is a belt that's supposed to, in theory, be defended every time they're on TV. What's consistently on TV every week? New Japan Strong.
Oh, yeah.
Who's consistently been over in the LA dojo on New Japan Strong? Ren Narita.
That's true.
However, they did just break up a big faction in New Japan. Maybe it's because they know that too many pieces are going different directions, and maybe ZSJ is heading stateside for a little while.
Well, that could be the case too.
Who knows? But yeah, my pick would definitely be Zack Sabre Jr. I only teased you a little bit because I do believe you said that he is probably your fave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gotta love you some CSJ. Guy's a stud. And I when we get towards the rundown this card too, I really want to talk with you fellas about New Year's Dash because I got some fun predictions for that too, I think as well. But all right, up next we got what I think may be the match of the night that could steal possibly the show. I am really looking forward to this. It's your Never Openweight Championship with Tama Tonga challenging WWE's Carl Anderson. Holy crap. Never thought I'd say that. But yeah, I'm so pumped for this just because, I mean, you're talking about pretty much the two founding fathers of the Bullet Club. These are the two guys that are most synonymous with the Bullet Club. And seeing them go one-on-one, I'm ready for this one. What about you guys?
I'll let Brent go first.
You'll let me go first? Oh. I think it's going to be a really good match. I think I don't think you would call this match a sleeper but it's gonna, like you said, I think even though it's not in like the co-main event, I think people are going to talk about this match afterwards.
I think this is and I think it's one of those ones where like, you're not really thinking about it, and it's going to surprise people, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one that people talk about and people aren't expecting because I think the entrances are going to be longer than the match. I think Carl Anderson takes the job and gets pinned real quick.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I I think if you look at how many matches are on this card, yeah, Wrestle Kingdom, runs that 4 to 5 hour mark usually when it's like a single night situation. And you look at all those matches that are coming up before and after this, and you're telling me an hour on this one? I don't think so.
Oh no, it's not going to go an hour, but I think it'll be.
I know, but that's my point. Is there's already a lot of other matches on here that are going to push that time limit, and then you throw everything that happened with Carl Anderson, going to WWE and basically kind of leaving them high and dry. I think he does a job and pays his due on that aspect of it, and helps further build Tama Tonga as the star over there.
Well, I'd hate to see him just do that, but I mean, if they do it, then just make Tama look strong with doing it, not just him come in and just lay down or something, which I don't think he would do. But
no, I'm thinking he's gonna come in and he's gonna get hit with a gun stun and 1, 2, 3 done.
Okay, like literally as he's getting into the ring, like he trips over the ropes or something, or like Tonga hits him with it and boom. Yeah, it could happen. I kind of hope we get a little bit of a long match just for like the storytelling purposes of this. When I say long, at least like a 10 to 15 minute or something.
Yeah.
If we can at least get 10 minutes, I'm satisfied with that.
I would enjoy that too. That's kind of my wild prediction of this one. Like if you want to throw like a crazy, like what the hell just happened moment out there, this is one for it to happen at.
Well, it's like you say, it makes sense too, because I mean there is some, I think, bad blood there with New Japan and Carl Anderson with him jumping to WWE, but I don't know.
I mean, but at the same point, these guys are independent wrestlers, and like they don't do this for fun. There's a paycheck at the end of this thing, and I mean, the money was there for it. It makes more sense.
Yeah,
very, very, very true.
But I think we're all pretty much going Tama Tonga on this one, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tama's got this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this is the most surefire bet of the night that it's guaranteed he's winning.
Yeah, when Hikuleo didn't win it, I was like, well, here's where it comes back.
Yeah. It's like I wanted to believe that also, talking about surprises, that AJ was going to show up, maybe like and just like make an appearance.
Not now.
But now that he's hurt, I don't think so. I mean, in the back of my mind, I want to be like, well, how conspiracy theory do I want to get here? Is he really hurt? Are they just trying to throw you off?
No, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt, because if you're going to do something like that, you don't do it on a freaking house show.
Well, I think the news was, and of course this at the time we're filming this literally just happened yesterday. I think he broke his ankle pretty much, so he's going to be out for a while. But we hope AJ Styles gets well soon, gets back in the ring. But yeah, I think we can all agree Tama's going to win this one. Now, up next, we've got a 6-man tag, and it's going to be very historic because it is going to be the very last time we see one of the all-time greats in the Tokyo Dome, as Keiji Muto will make his last appearance ever in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So he teams up with the ace himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and shooter Shota Umino, and they're going up against Los Ingobernables de Japón, with Tetsuya Naito, Sonata, and Bushi. Now, I could see this one being one where the entrances are almost longer. The entrances are going to be long, especially for Muta. I mean, that's what it's all about here, as far as I'm concerned, is Muta. I mean, come on. I'd love to see him get his stuff in. And the interesting note is, too, if you look back on the history of Wrestle Kingdom, Muta and Naito have met before in a one-on-one matchup. So I'm just looking forward to this just to see Muta in the Tokyo Dome. I'm really looking forward to see these next couple of matches Muta's got coming up. Of course, on January 1st against Nakamura, and then it all ends on January the 22nd when he teams with Sting and Darby Allin. But yeah, I've always loved Muta. I mean, Muta, to me as a kid, like Muta was like the first real Japanese wrestler I remember seeing. So to see somebody of his caliber, to see this be his last match, I'm looking forward to it.
So I think this is one where actually Kenji still actually gets the win on this one. I didn't know about the AEW one. I thought his actual last match was going to be against Shinsuke with that Noah show that was going to follow after this one. So I didn't realize the AEW thing was coming up. So I kind of figured the Noah show would be where he, takes the takes the pin and says his goodbye finally. But I don't know. That kind of maybe sways my opinion on this one. That maybe Lij does get this one, but I'm still going to stick with Muta getting the pin on somebody. He'll probably throw some mist at Bushi, and Bushi will try to throw some mist at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go against him when it's going to be his last match in the Tokyo Dome. I mean, you can't.
Where's the Noah match supposed to happen?
The one against Nakamura?
Yeah.
It's on I know it's on January 1st. But the one that got AEW involved, it's in Japan as well. So and I thought it was a Noah match too. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I missed this.
Yeah. Well, you knew Muta was going against Shinsuke Nakamura. I know
Yes,
you
knew that.
Yeah.
Knew that.
Yeah. So, and here's a question throw out there. We're seeing here in the graphic, it's KG Muta. Is there a chance we maybe get the Great Muta?
Nah, because great. I was gonna say I ended up pulling it up to try and figure it out. We get Great Muta on January 1st in the Nippon Budokan. So
yeah,
that's gonna happen first, then this is gonna happen later.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, well, maybe what if the Great Muta is in the KOPW? What you know what I mean? And like then he's like,
I don't know.
probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, he's a little up there in age. I don't know if he could be doing two matches even with the rest.
Yeah, I'm spitballing here, but hey, as much Muta as we can get, I'm all for it. So, all right, up next we have got the 4-way match for your IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, with Taiji Ishimori defending against Hiromu Takahashi, El Desperado, and your favorite, right, CDC Master Wato.
I hate him. I hate Wato.
Oh, tell us, why do you hate Wato so much?
Because it's Wato. Like, look at him. Do you not just like have people that you look at and you're just like, I despise you?
But the glove is really
just
cool.
On look.
I just want to slap you across the face right now.
I hate his look. I hate his moveset. I hate his music. I hate the way he breathes.
Yeah.
And I also think he's gonna win.
I know. I was gonna say. I think out of the 4, I think he's gonna win this. That's my pick. I think he's gonna pull off an upset. I think it's gonna be Wato winning this.
I think he wins it too because, again, as I've said before, and what I think the lineup on the card is as it is, New Japan is struggling with having new stars, and they keep trying to shove this POS down my throat. And what better way to do it than make him a champion?
Yeah, and I feel like, I think the obvious answer would be Hiromi, but I mean, geez, how many times has he won the damn junior title at Wrestle Kingdom? I've lost track.
That's also why I don't think any 3 of these other contenders that have won it at one point or another are going to win, because it almost feels too obvious that one of those 3 would win it.
I would say if you take Wato out of the equation, I was made to pick one, I'd probably go with El Desperado, but I think Wato's winning this. If
we take Wato out of the consideration, I think Taiji holds on to it, just because you just had the disbanding of Suzuki-gun, Lij. They're not really doing anything with right now, so I mean, a strike while the Bullet Club's still hot, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's true. What about you, Mr. B-Roll? Who you got?
Just to piss CDC off, I'm picking Wato.
I picked him too. I mean, it just makes my stomach turn just thinking about him holding a championship. I mean, he's held the tag title with Taguchi, but with Team 6 or 9. But every time, I just vomit. Just like I can feel it right now.
I think, in all, though, the matchup itself should be good. And I've enjoyed with New Japan, I've noticed, I feel like they've done over the past couple of years, is really kind of put that and feature that junior heavyweight championship higher on the card. So I'm excited to see this pretty much go on before your double main event, essentially. But who knows? We will find out come January 4th in the Tokyo Dome. But speaking of main events, let's get to that double main event. And let's talk about the match that the wrestling world is talking about. Your semi-main event, your IWGP United States Championship, the dream matchup, Will Ospreay defending against the best bout machine, Kenny Omega. Holy moly. Is this going to be a classic? I'm not going to lie, pull back the curtain here. My nipples are a little erect just thinking about this match, and that's not to be weird or anything, but I know this is going to be a 30 to 40 minute classic.
The Billy Goat does strange things to many people. So
yeah, give these guys as much time as possible. Man, and I've enjoyed the build kind of on this too, with like what Ospreay's been doing, like with his, his social media game and stuff. And of course, we got to see these guys kind of collide there on Dynamite as part of the trios tournament.
Yeah, I mean that was brilliant. And then like the fact that they released like the footage of like the after it went off the air. I mean, just brilliant.
This is one of those matches too where it's like they don't like, I don't know, it's not like obvious or forced down your throat. It's just like subtly teased, and by doing so, it's just like makes you want to see it all the more. And I mean, Will Ospreay is at the top of his game right now too, and I think since Kenny's come back from his injury, he's had enough time really, like where this is going to be, I think, his first true test. Because I mean, let's face facts, Kenny's been wrestling in nothing but trios matches since he come back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is one where I think this is probably actually going to be the match of the night.
Of
all of them, and just I don't see Will Ospreay losing this one. Yeah, as crazy as that sounds, because Kenny Omega is so amazing, I think like this is that rubber match. He needs this win. Him not getting this win just makes him look worse on their card, especially when they've built so much around him and they've already had him lose to Okada enough times. I think this could be your build finally to him, getting that, solid win against Okada. Yeah, he's beaten him one time before, but not in a just solid straight, singles match like he needs to. So Kenny Omega is the first stepping stone. Okada is the next one to follow. And then Will Ospreay is just, shooting for the moon from there.
Yeah. And like speaking on like that, I was saying earlier about how the after Dynamite went off the air, they released ever since the moment that Kenny says to him, he goes, "Yeah, I faced Okada too, but I've also beaten him." Like it's like it was set up right there. Yep. Like this is classic booking for them. This is the first stepping stone, and really, in my eyes, we're on our way to WrestleMania Wrestle Kingdom 18.
Hey, you never know.
Main event, like you never know.
Well, I mean well, I mean with Ospreay, there's the talks there of like, is he gonna leave New Japan or what? Like, but no, I'm with you, CD. I really feel like this is going to be that career-defining win for William Ospreay. And to me, this is the match. I totally agree. This is going to be the best match of the night. To me, this is the match. Like the card's good, but this is the match that's like, okay, this is a Wrestle Kingdom event. This isn't like just an ordinary show. This is truly a Wrestle Kingdom show because it's where you're getting the best of the best in the entire world. And I think it's amazing too. You look at the parallels. Let's go back to what was it, about 5 or 6 years ago, where Kenny Omega was one of the top kind of guys in the company, but he needed somebody to elevate. And what did New Japan do? They brought in Chris Jericho, and they wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom. And I think it's just amazing. All the years later, it's like Kenny Omega's kind of in that Chris Jericho role going into this matchup. But I think at the end of the day, ultimately, the Billy Goat, I think he wins this. I think this is Will Ospreay's to win.
Yeah. Do you think the Young Bucks show up with him?
In his corner, in Kenny's corner? I wouldn't be shocked, but I do. If you do look on New Japan's website, they are saying and advertising that Don Callis is going to be in his corner. So
gotcha. Well, I was just thinking of Aussie Open. Like, what if Aussie Open's like in his corner, and then
it could happen. And boy, that would be a hell of a matchup, a tag match with just Aussie Open and the Bucks. Ooh,
yeah.
But
then again, you think about they're in the trios right now too. But we're talking Wrestle Kingdom.
That's right.
But how long? Like, we've been predicting this match for a while.
Salivating at this matchup. I mean, even going all the way back at talking at Forbidden Door, talking about like, God, how awesome would it be if we get Ospreay and Omega? And here we are, January 4th. It's happening, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I'm picking. I love Kenny Omega, but I'm picking Ospreay.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, let's talk about it, boys. Our main event of Wrestle Kingdom 17, your IWGP Heavyweight Championship with the Switchblade, Jay White defending against your G1 Climax winner, Kazuchika Okada. And the crazy thing is, this rivalry between these guys, Jay White has gotten the best of Okada. As a matter of fact, Okada has never beat Jay White in Japan. The only time Okada beat him was in Madison Square Garden. And I think this is going to be a hell of a matchup as well. I think it presents itself as an interesting main event with that backdrop and that story how Okada hasn't beat Jay White. Because, I mean, Okada's done freaking everything pretty much in New Japan. But for them to kind of present this kind of new challenge, but it's Okada's winning this. I think it's Okada's getting the belt back. Plain as day. You got to send home everybody happy, right? I think Okada's taking the belt.
That, and you throw the Antonio Inoki angle on top of there as well. Yeah, I thought this was just a given. But,
it's a foregone
conclusion. At the same point, because it feels too obvious, could be the perfect opportunity for that swerve. But, yeah, I don't see Okada walking out of this without it. And, hey, maybe after he wins it, someone else shows up.
Yes, and I think that will happen. But what do you say, Mr. B-Roll?
Well, I was going to say he said Swerve, so I mean CDC saying here that Swerve Strickland is going to show up in New Japan.
Hey, he's already been in New Japan. He fought Jay White. Jay White had a cheat to beat him.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm definitely Okada's Okada. Still, when I see him, like I still can't believe I got to see him in real life. But I mean, yeah, Okada's winning this.
Yeah, I think it's just like you say, it's a foregone conclusion for Antonio Inoki. Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom, Okada, always bet on Okada. I mean, here you go. Yeah, he's getting the belt back. He's going to finally avenge those losses to Jay White and beat him in Japan. But you mentioned after the show. Well, we always know here, especially in the last couple of years, where the next challenger has always come out at the end of the night. And my prediction for that, I think you're going to see the Golden Star. So I think Kota Ibushi comes out and wants to be the next challenger for Okada. I think that would get like the biggest pop. And I know you got babyface against babyface, but like, what better way to bring back Ibushi into the fold of things? What about you guys? Any special predictions there?
I think you pretty much nailed it on the head. Like, if he doesn't just randomly show up in the Rambo, that's probably where he does kind of make an appearance, because it's just been too quiet for too long. So that's all the better reason why for him to show up, because it's just been too long to hear from him. And then all of a sudden, boom, there he is. Yeah, place will erupt.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, honestly, what I'm more thinking about too in context of this is like, this is going to be the first one where they're actually allowed to cheer.
I was just getting ready to ask. I was going to wonder, because I actually haven't looked into that, if it's going to be a cheering one or not.
That's true.
I do believe I saw, like, because they had done like you could cheer in certain sections, but I do believe this is going to be the first show where they are allowed to cheer.
Well, I was wondering about that, because they in Korakuen Hall, they had a cheering event. And then the last event that they had in Cork and Hall was not a cheering event. So it was like, something happened? Have those been pulled back away? Like, I just didn't know if this was going to be one where they could be cheering or not, but I hope it does, because it just brings a whole nother level to it.
Especially in the Tokyo Dome. Oh, man.
And I mean, even though the Japanese crowd is more reserved, like, they get loud at the right times.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it actually, like most cases too, you go to these big arena shows, it seems like the smaller arena environments are more enjoyable for crowd noise. But I think it's like the reverse opposite with with the Japanese show, like especially here at the historic Tokyo Dome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to them. That's a good point. I am definitely looking forward to the crowd being back for this, or being able to actually cheer. I just need the announcers say in Tokyo Dome.
In the Tokyo Dome.
Hey, I mentioned to kind of wrap this up here. I wanted to talk about New Year's Dash and how in the past New Year's Dash has always been like, it's kind of like that reset button for New Japan, and I think this year's New Year's Dash is going to be fucking nuts, because I feel like you're going to see some new factions form. I think I got to give you credit where credit's due, CDC. I think you hit the nail on the head as far as like placing some of those Suzuki-gun guys. I think you're going to see House of Torture get serious. But I also liked one thing you presented was Zack Sabre Jr. joining up with the United Empire. And I wouldn't be shocked, as crazy as this sounds, but what if like Zack Sabre like takes over as the leader and they just kick Ospreay out?
That's been the whole like prediction aspect there of it. I have a whole other wild, crazy theory with that goes with that whole split. Like, okay, let's just fantasy book out here. Zack Sabre Jr. doesn't win. Will Ospreay doesn't win. Zack Sabre Jr. ends up in United Empire because Will Ospreay decides they need more faction members or some other random thing. But as he's there, all of a sudden, the other members kind of like look around and think to ourselves, right, we aren't working right now, and we think it's leadership, and they kick him out. Okay. Last title he held was the United States title. Magically, there's this thing called the Royal Rumble in January. Ooh. All of a sudden, the surprise entrant is Will Ospreay. He has his little face-to-face with Seth Rollins, because if you recall, sometime back, Seth Rollins made, a tongue-in-cheek comment about pay, and kind of, retracted it and felt bad about it afterwards after Will Ospreay basically kind of, dogged on him for it. So they have their little thing, but then you have Will Ospreay obviously not win it, but put himself in a position where he goes for a different U.S. title, and they can build off him. Ooh. After they get it off of Austin Theory, or Theory, however they want to call him now. Then he starts building that thing. We've seen enough Cody and Rollins. It's been great, but let's move on. Let's start getting some Will Ospreay and Seth Rollins.
So you think Will Ospreay would be WWE bound?
I could see it. I mean, why not? If the money's right. I was to say, isn't his girl still with them under the developmental still?
Oh, well, yeah, because she was in NXT UK, and I know they're not doing that.
But I mean, I could see
she's still with them. I think, yeah.
Transition right on over.
Well, and I think you definitely said it's good. The money's going to be right, and I mean, let's talk about that too. I do think, I don't know who it's going to be, but I think there's two prime candidates. But I do think you are going to see an active New Japan Pro Wrestling super wrestler in the Royal Rumble. I think that's part of this deal for Carl Anderson to come over here and wrestle this show. I think, WWE's obviously getting something in return. I think a lot of people think it's going to be Jay White, but I could see it being Will Ospreay. I think it's one of those two. It's Jay White or Ospreay. I'll tell you this. If come at the end of the night and you do see Ospreay lose to Omega, I almost would say it's a foregone conclusion that Ospreay's going elsewhere.
I think it's a good prediction piece there. Like I said, I when I started thinking about all the different things with Suzuki breaking up, that was one of the first things I thought of on how that could kind of break down. I just went on a whole crazy tangent, but I was like, TikToks are only 3 minutes long. I can't go that crazy. We're still just their version.
It's a long rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah, I'm in a situation with WWE where I expect nothing. Therefore, when something does happen, I can enjoy it more.
It's more enjoyable. Yeah.
I won't be shocked if there's not any actual real surprises. I think there's a good chance we get Matt Cardona.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Cody.
There's a good chance maybe we get, possibly on the women's side, some more Impact female wrestlers again.
Maybe Naomi.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
I think Deonna Purrazzo is a possibility also. Maybe Mickie James again, but I kind of doubt that. But on the men's side, I mean, if they're going to have a New Japan guy come over, like I think it would behoove them to have someone who represents New Japan at its core. And I think Tanahashi makes the most sense there. Now, he doesn't have to do anything crazy, but I think it would be fun to just see him out there live with an American audience, because I think it'd be great to just all of a sudden just hear, "Go Ace!"
Right in San Antone. And I could see that happening too, but I will say this, even though we don't live in this world, thank God, anymore, but if this was a Vince McMahon still led WWE, there'd be no way you see Tanahashi be like,
yeah,
give me that kid that does all the flippy shit. That's who I want.
Yeah. We wouldn't even be having this discussion.
That's true.
I feel like it would be Jay White, if anyone. I don't know why. I guess maybe I'm just going back to that leaked document that had all these names on it.
Yeah, I paid no attention. I saw that and I was like, "No, this isn't legit." Let's say, I remember, what was it last year's, the one that had Moose on there also, and Nick Aldis, I think, was on there. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I don't think so.
Nick Aldis would be a good one for this year, actually.
I do think Nick Aldis is a good chance he'll be in the Rumble, because I could see him coming to WWE. Totally could see it. He definitely seems like he would be a Triple H guy. Brother. Well, on that note, I think that's going to wrap it up here for our Wrestle Kingdom prediction show. We thank you so much for joining us here, and we hope that you have a happy Wrestle Kingdom day. I'm Xlj the Og, and we want to thank our very special guest, TheeCDC, and of course, my brother from another mother, Mr. B-Roll, as we get ready and enjoy Wrestle Kingdom 17 in Tokyo Dome!
In Tokyo Dome!